From The Last of Us Part 2 and Cyberpunk 2077, it's quite easy to get swept up in the excitement of the big releases of the year. And with these massive games taking up most of the limelight, it's easy to overlook the gems that lay hidden among them. So today, we will be looking at some indie games that should be on your radar for the future. The PlayStation 2 was the main console I played while growing up. It was a console with a vast variety of games and genres, and one such genre that often tickled my fancy were platformers, the likes of Ratchet & Clank, Jak and Daxter, and Vex. Platformers have begun to see a big resurgence over the last few years, especially thanks to older titles like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon getting remakes from the ground up. I think because of this resurgence, we have a slew of new platformers coming to us, and one of these titles that I'm looking forward to is Project Longtail. This game plans to try and recapture the feel of those old PS2 platformers from back in the day, but with a modern twist. There isn't much known about the game, although there is a small pre-alpha gameplay trailer that shows off quick platforming, puzzle elements, and combat segments. The trailer is over a year old, which in my opinion has given them plenty of time to polish up the gameplay where it's needed. From what can be observed, the main character Longtail will have some sort of mystical powers, and there does seem to be a possibility of a deep story going off a video they recently posted showing off a bit more of the game. The game does look very inviting, with nice, warm, lush environments, neat character designs, and colour that pops and just grabs one's attention. The music that has been showcased throughout their most recent video adds to the idea that the story will play a big part. But equally as impressive is the game's music, which is uplifting and cheery and is quite easy on the ears. Project Longtail is a game I always love to see more news about, and I hope we get more soon. So far from what this game has shown, it has garnered my full attention, and I eagerly await the day I get to sit down and give the game a whirl. The game is being developed by Hologram Monster, and I can't wait to see what comes next. The game is being developed in Unreal Engine 4, and they are planning to bring it to PC and consoles. I find that games these days have a deeper focus on telling a compelling narrative first and foremost. I have nothing against that approach. However, I feel like games are starting to lean on it too heavily than just having a game that's simply for fun. This is why I love seeing games like Fisti-fluffs. Something so utterly endearing, something so utterly mad, that I get giddy about thinking of the amount of fun I could have with this game. The premise is simple: up to 4 cats fighting each other while they tear up the environment to prove who is the dominant feline. The game is physics-based, which adds to the pure insanity as you scrap, scratch, or throw something at any cat that dares get in your way. This game to me is the definition of just pure fun, in the same vein of games like Gang Beasts. Meeting up with a few buddies and tearing into each other in an over-the-top fighter is just what the doctor ordered if you're looking for something that will bring forth a hefty amount of crack between each other. But Pat, I hear, what's the point of fighting unless you do it in style? Well, Fisti-fluffs offers you the chance to customize your little cat with a little hat before you jump into battle against each other. It's a nice little feature that adds a little more to the game outside of fighting. Playfellow Studios is making a fine little fighter here, and they have already a demo out that allows up to 4-player fights so that you can get a taste of the madness. With each passing year, it feels like games that are made purely for fun gameplay have been few and far between. But with games like Fisti-fluffs, we're sure to have an experience with simple, over-the-top fun. Over the past 2 to 3 years, I've been digging fighting games and trying to dive in deep beyond the surface level. One game that has been holding my attention quite strongly over the past few months would have to be Metal Revolution. A fighting game with an incredible sense of style that will keep people busy in trying to master it. The game looks to be simple to grasp, making it easy for anyone to jump in and go a few rounds without having to have a great understanding of how the game works. It's a smart move on Next Studios' part, leaving the game open for a wider audience. But like many fighters, there is a deep pit to fall into to get a whole understanding of the game and be an expert at the game. Learning to better yourself and challenge yourself against others will truly put you to the test. Metal Revolution is an incredibly stylish looking game. As I watched the smooth combat between two fighters, I found that they were surprisingly fluid. There are also the creative character designs for these robotic fighters to choose from the fancily dressed katana-wielding Miyamoto Ren to the Gundam-like Trishula. The 9 fighters so far are appealing to look at as well as to witness fighting. In all honesty though, from what I have seen of Metal Revolution, it looks incredibly polished and it's akin more to that of a AAA game in my eyes. It's incredible to see smaller projects look as impressive as anything the big boys can throw out, and it's becoming more and more common that these indie games can rival the big title releases. If you're anyway a fan of fighting games, then Metal Revolution is the one you should keep your eyes on for future updates. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe to see more like it. And if you're interested in the indie games mentioned or other indie games coming out sometime in the future, be sure to comment them in the comment section below to let us know. I'm Pat Carey from the Republic of Players, and until next time, have a good one.